The Frankfurt School, otherwise known as the Institute for Social Research, was formed in 1923 and gained its name from the place it was created, Frankfurt, Germany. It is a social and political school of ideas that sought to develop Marxism in Germany. The minds that developed the Frankfurt School were forced to move to New York during the Second World War, but moved back to Germany after to continue to develop their ideas. The Frankfurt School coined the term culture industry, which was made up by the ideas of cultural hegemony, the reduction in cultural diversity and predictability. They said that this helped keep social conformity and made sure that the masses were manipulated in some way. The school's ideas were developed after seeing the failure of the common man's revolution that Karl Marx predicted, the rise of the Nazis, and the mass production that followed the Industrial Revolution. The school looks at ideas such as commodity fetishization and critique of mass culture, which fits in with what this video essay will look at. The ideas of the Frankfurt School can be easily applied to popular culture, but this essay will look more specifically of how it applies to popular music. Theodor Adorno, a critical Marxist thinker, wrote an essay in 1941 titled On Popular Music. In this essay, he wrote how popular music at the time was all standardized, stating, "The whole structure of popular music is standardized. Standardization extends from the most general features to the most specific ones. How deep is your love? Love me like you do, la la, love me like you do. Now if we're talking body, like the ocean, you got a perfect one, so put it on me. Said you're running out of time, what do you mean? Essentially, Adorno thought that pop music adhered to a set of rules that made it different from serious music, as he called it. Though this idea was written about in 1941, it can still be easily applied to today's music. Australian comedy musicians Axis of Awesome showed how many modern pop songs over the last 4 decades have employed the use of the same 4 chords in their 4-chord song, which shows them cover a medley of songs spanning many different artists, only playing the same chords over and over again.
Check it out. My life is brilliant, my love is pure. I saw an angel, of that I'm sure. People killing, people dying, children hurt and you hear them crying. Can you practice what you preach? Won't you turn the other cheek? Forever young, I wanna be forever young. I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm your lipstick stains on the front lobe of my left side brains. I knew I wouldn't forget you if I could.
Pop songs that come out now often employ the uses of the same themes as well. While love songs are a standard and probably always will be, more and more pop writers are choosing to make songs about being young and how you will only live once, and even more dubious themes. Max Horkheimer was another critical thinker, an important figure in the Frankfurt School. He and Adorno talked about the culture industry and how cultural properties were produced in a way that reflected an assembly line. An example of this idea would be The X Factor, the reality talent show. Contestants are picked from lines of hundreds, taken and made into pop stars over the course of a few weeks, with the not as good or defective talents being evicted along the way.
The public have voted. I'm about to reveal which 2 acts have received the most votes and will compete head-to-head for the X Factor title, and which act has received the fewest votes, finished 3rd, and will be leaving the competition tonight. Good luck to everyone. Thank you. In no particular order, the first act through to the next stage of the final is...
Contestants are picked from lines of hundreds, taken and made into pop stars over the course of a few weeks, with the not as good or defective talents being evicted along the way. In this, the comparison between a show like The X Factor and an assembly line is easy to see. Adorno also talked about passive listening, suggesting that audiences do not really pay attention to the music they are listening to. An example of this in modern music would be 2013's Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke. The song reached number 1 in the charts before people started realising the lyrics seemed to condone sex without consent, leading to much controversy, though this was weeks after the initial release, suggesting that many were not really listening to what the song was saying in the first place. Another idea explored under the Frankfurt School is commodity fetishism. This is essentially the importance put upon products and money that is seen as important by so many. In music, a good example of this could be found in rap music, where many rappers will talk in their lyrics of their vast sums of cash and all their expensive cars and exotic women that their money has bought them. Commodity fetishization can also be blamed for the rise in people attending music concerts and filming them on their mobile phones. Rather than enjoying the show while they are there, they want to show the world what they paid for, not necessarily paying attention to the show, but making sure they have uploaded videos to social media, showing that they were there. They are paying money for the status symbol that comes with being at the show and having a ticket, rather than paying for the show itself. While there are plenty of valid points that come from the Frankfurt School, there are parts that other theorists take issues with, some stating that its views on standardization fail to take into account that most forms of music are standardized, including serious music such as classical and folk music. Others would state that the school's ideas on mass culture do not give the general public enough credit, and while the culture industries like the music industry are influential, people will only listen to music that they like and consume products that they think are of a high standard, even if it's not considered by some like Adorno to be serious or good. Overall, however, I feel that there is plenty that the Frankfurt School got spot on, with much modern music being as predictable as Adorno suggested. However, the school is not infallible, and as such can be criticised for perhaps having an overly simplistic viewpoint that fails to take into account the standardisation that is on a wider scale than just in popular music, unlike what Adorno said. To me, it is clear that there are two arguable sides to this debate, with evidence suggesting the Frankfurt School was right, but perhaps there are issues with the wide sweeping claims that some of the theorists made about pop music and the general public as a whole.